What's up, y'all? Niyi, Sobo, I'm not you.com. I want to talk to you guys about the habit of waking up at the same time every morning consistently without hitting the snooze button. I can guarantee you that if you commit to doing this habit, this will be one of the most important and beneficial decisions you ever make as an athlete. And the reason I can say that with all confidence is because I played at the highest levels and I've seen guys and I know exactly what guys do in terms of what habits contribute to their success. And waking up on time at the same time and being very habitual in the times that they wake up and when they do things is absolutely at the top of the list of all the best guys in the world. I played in the NFL, played in D1 college ball as well. These are the habits that make people successful. And what that means for you, if you're able to get up on time, is you're going to have more time. You're going to have the confidence and certainty, knowing you're going to knock certain things out in the day. You're going to feel less overwhelmed. And what that also means for you is when you go on the field, you're going to be better prepared. You're going to be stronger, faster, quicker than the rest, more poised, and more confidence. Does that sound like something you can benefit from? Exactly. All right. So the first thing we got to do if we want to get up on time consistently without hitting the snooze button, and it sounds very simple, but you have to give yourself a very important reason why. So Napoleon Hill, one of my favorite authors, said this. He said, you have no right to ask anyone to do anything without an adequate motive. And that means basically for you, you don't have the right to ask yourself to get up on time if you don't give yourself enough reasons to do it. You must have enough reasons to do what you're doing. If you don't have enough reasons, if you don't have the proper motivation to do it, you're not going to do it. Because getting up late for you or getting up inconsistently or hitting the snooze is now a habit. And in order to break that habit, you have to start a new habit. Starting new habits can be tough in the beginning. So I want you to give yourself good reasons. So take out a piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle. On the left, write pain. On the right, pleasure. All right? Under pain, I want you to write down all the negative consequences of you continuing to wake up inconsistently at different times, hitting the snooze button. Think of all the negative consequences. Think of how much workouts you've missed. Think of how much extra sleep you've gotten, and less work that you've gotten in. Think about how your skills will diminish over time if you continue to do this. Think about how your team will suffer. Think about how your teammates will suffer. Think about how you will suffer. Exaggerate this. Make it very painful for you to continue to do what you're doing. On the right side, right on pleasure, I want you to think about if you were to wake up every time at the same time and not hit snooze and be consistent with this habit. Think of all the great things that can become of this. Think of all the extra time that you'll have to work on your sport. Think of all the extra books you'll read. Think of how much better you'll do in school. Think about that scholarship you'll get. Think about how much better you'll get at your sport. Exaggerate the pleasure you'll get from this. Now, hopefully, we've conjured up enough desire to actually make this a reality. Because without that desire, it's a waste of time. You shouldn't even watch this video. If you don't want to make it happen, it's going to be a waste of your time. You have to conjure up enough desire. It's also said that if you have enough desire, if you have built up desire to change something more than you want to have the desire to continue to do it the same way, you're 51% there. So after you added up the pain and pleasure, you're 50% there. You're ready to start this new habit. All right. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to identify a reasonable wake up time. Now, what that means is identify a time in the morning that you need to wake up every day to where you can have at least 30 to 45 minutes for your morning master routine. And I'll explain that in a second. But what time do you need to wake up every day to make sure that you have 30 to 45 minutes to make sure you're going to do everything you need to do without being rushed at all? So imagine a perfect morning. Imagine you've done everything you want to do in the morning and you get out the door. Imagine you have enough time to do that. What is that time? So identify that time. All right. The next thing, I want you to set the alarm clock. So get 2 alarm clocks, one on your phone, an actual physical alarm clock, and set the times. All right. Pretty simple. Now, the next thing that's very, very important is I want you to have an agenda. You got to have a morning master routine. So if you're waking up in the morning and you don't know what you're doing and every day is different, you're not really going to have any consistency and you're not going to be able to build that as a habit. You're actually just going to have the habit of being inconsistent. So you need to identify what your morning master routine is. Now, for me, I have a specific morning master routine And I will actually include that PDF in this video. So click on the link in the description and you can get that PDF and find out exactly what I do. But it includes meditation, it includes visualization, it includes writing down my goals, it includes prime time, which means getting myself to feel the way I need to feel in order to dominate the day. I'm not going to go into that on this video. I can go into it on another, but I want you guys to identify what's your agenda when you wake up in the morning. All right. Now, the next step. I learned this just recently, and it's absolutely been a game changer because much like you guys, I struggle with hitting the snooze button. A lot of times I get very little sleep, wake up in the morning, I'm tired. I'm also a firefighter. I've been on calls all night. You know, I got to come home, do a bunch of work, shoot these videos for y'all. I got to have energy, you know what I'm saying? But I find myself pressing snooze. But shout out to Steve Pavlina, so stevepavlina.com. He put me up on this next method, and it's so simple, but it's so effective. You practice. So what I want you to do is in the middle of the day, I want you to get in your pajamas, set yourself up like you're getting ready to go to sleep, and recreate the situation. Lay down in bed and practice getting up at the sound of your alarm clock, walking over, clicking the button, and going to do what you got to do. Because right now, you're in the habit of hitting snooze and getting right back in bed. But you need to practice getting up, clicking that button, and going through your morning mastery routine. So practice that. Practice that at least 5 times in a day. Getting up, out of bed, turning off your alarm clock, and going to do the first thing, whether that's brush your teeth, take a shower, etc. Extremely important. Just like anything. How do you get good at your sport? You practice. How are you going to get good at waking up without hitting snooze? Practice. All right? So do it. Do not just listen to this and not do it. You must do it if this is important to you. And I think you know now that it is. All right, here are some things to think about on the way to making this a habit. All right, number one, you're going to feel guilty sometimes because sometimes you are going to hit snooze and you are going to wake up later. You have to turn that guilt into immediate action. Do not sit there and feel guilty the whole time because that's going to turn into many more days where you do the same thing. Feel that guilt for a quick second and turn it into action. So that means the very next day, get started back on your habits. The other thing is you want to keep record of all the good things that happen as a result of you waking up on time. So the more you notice that, the more your brain associates with pleasure with waking up early. So if you get that good workout in the morning, or you feel really good after you just meditated, attribute that to the fact that you got up on time. In your brain, you're making those connections, all right? The next thing, obviously, get to bed on time. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much sleep you need to get, but obviously, at least 6 to 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not getting 68 hours of sleep, you need to figure out a way to get to bed on time. And we'll talk about some other methods for how to plan your day in other videos, but you need to get to bed on time. The other thing is obviously taking a nap will help. If you have time, get yourself a 15 to 30-minute nap. Those do well for me and just keeping me refreshed. I think one of the most important things is to eat healthy. And again, this is outside the scope of this video, but eating healthy will absolutely help you feel very refreshed when you wake up. If you're bogging down your system with all that fried food, candy, soda, junk food, you know, you're giving your body a hard time while it's sleeping and it's not adequately resting, all right? The other thing to remember is that you're going to be tired regardless when you wake up. So a lot of times we hit snooze because we think by hitting snooze we're getting more sleep, but you're not going to be any less tired when you wake up. So might as well just hit cancel on your alarm clock and just get up out of bed. Just turn your alarm clock off and get up. Like, you're going to be tired anyway, but as soon as you go through the rest of your morning, you're gonna be awake. Also, man, keep score. Like, I like to track things. So in your morning mastery PDF underneath this video is a way for you to track it. Keep score. Involve a friend. Make it a competition. Like, don't beat yourself up. If you don't get it one day, just keep right back at it. It's just like anything, man. You're like, if you're practicing at your sport, you're not going to give up just because you had a bad day at practice or you didn't make a bunch of shots. Keep going, man. Be persistent. Have focus. And keep reminding yourself of why it's important, and you will absolutely make this a habit, and it will change the game for you. All right. So do it and reply. Hit me up. Let me know how it's going. All right. Peace.